Hello and welcome to the Supreme Leadership Summit. I'm your host, Rachel Abba. I'm a supreme guide and courage mentor to highly intuitive people, and I'm in the business of supporting highly intuitive women become bold and feel seen and liberated to step out into the world and create tangible wins, tangible successes for themselves on their terms. And today, I'm just so exhilarated and excited that I have Andrea Petrut with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read Andrea's bio verbatim because she is accomplished, like absolutely phenomenal. And I'm just looking forward to all of you hearing her wisdom, hearing her heart, because she's just soulful and committed. So Andrea Petrut, she's a holistic healing advocate, a speaker, a podcaster, and I call her a master collaborator. This has been my experience of her. She is a fierce advocate for love and healing, and this thread weaves through everything she does as an engaging visionary speaker, podcaster, teacher, workshop leader, trauma-informed facilitator, home educator, storyteller, somatic writer, and co-author. She is passionate about co-empowering professionals globally to embrace their uniqueness in order to courageously lead the change with their spirituality. Her goal is to guide leaders and change makers who want to serve for the best and highest good of all. She creates holistic connection with others based on her deep belief in the oneness of all people and is skilled at instilling collaborative energy into service ventures of all scales, from individual and community to the global level. Welcome, Andrea Petrut.
Oh, so beautiful to hear that from you. Thank you so much. I'll
Thank
remember what
you.
you said about me.
Yes. And, this is all part of the conversation around, what the summit is all about, which is supreme leadership, where, we have gathered, it's like this magnetism gathering all these experts and leaders and change makers and heart-centered advocates, right?
Mhm.
To share all around like the three pillars, right? Of clarity, courage, and confidence. And this is about, feeling worthy and empowering ourselves to realize our dreams. And I'd even go as far to say to become our dream. And then we become medicine in the world for
Mhm.
ourselves and for others. So this is what the summit is all about. And I'd like to say welcome again. Thank you for being here.
Wow, thank you. You know what I heard from you right now is embodiment, that embodiment of the medicine that you are. And it's not the
Yes.
first time that I hear that. I keep hearing it from my mentors, from somatic writing, and many other places where
Yes.
we have the medicine through us, which could be our gifts, the story we can share, but we also are medicine by who we are. We can be that for the world.
Yes.
Now, I didn't know my medicine until I would say 2 years ago, because although all my life I had extraordinary connection and experiences, and you mentioned that word oneness, which is in my bio. Well,
Mhm.
I had the experience of oneness and I had it to my DNA, through my body to the bones. It was an embodiment of oneness that I had for, I don't know if it was eternity or a blink of an eye or somewhere in between, but I was given that experience. And since then, I tried to find how can I bring it again without a special appearance of spirit into my life where I live in a home, by bringing it from within and showing it to others. Of course, this was not my goal when I was little, but looking back, I can see that. And I had to discover this by learning about leadership. And leadership came to me not by decision, although I took a decision unconsciously when my mom died when I was 11.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you, but I'm not sorry now. You know, because she has modeled everything that is, now I call it sunshine, everything that is
Yes.
light, everything
Yes.
that is, she was imperfect as every human, and she had some light within, and I
Hmm.
witnessed her in different experiences, and I could see how a leader does, what
Hmm.
sunshine means,
Yes.
and it stayed with me. And now, as I'm writing my memoir, now I'm looking back and I can see the wisdom that she brought into my life, although we
Yes.
didn't have conversations like you and me now.
Yes.
And that take the lead moment for me, that moment of inner clarity, though it took me decades to have conscious clarity about it too, was
Yes.
when, even before she died, when I, like, spirit angels, my gift, I don't even know, but I heard somewhere inside this head, inside my being, what my mom said, though my dad said he never heard that from my mom. My mom said, take care of Andrea. And I knew
Yes.
she's gonna die. So for me, it was a constant and sudden switch from an 11-year-old child to
Hmm.
an 11-year-old with a mature head, a mature mind.
Yes. Yes.
And and it took me years of transformation, of exploring, of being immersed into different spiritualities than the one I was living in, which was Christian Orthodox. So for me, spirituality has been this ocean in which I was brought up, and I had different perspectives and different views and my own inner experience. So I
Yes.
learned from these interactions, and I
Yes.
call them, now the word just came, revolutions, because I was, going around myself and then
Yes.
around the years
Yes.
of my life.
Yes.
And I discovered, especially 2 years ago, that I know I have a vision. So this is the moment of clarity for me
Yes.
recently. I know I have a vision. I don't know the details, what is it exactly, what's there, but I know that this vision has been shown to me in my imagination, in things that came up, in resources that I felt connected to. There was something always calling me, calling me, calling me. And what I realized in the last 2 years is that I can recognize my vision as my North Star. And the North Star, what I've seen from my experience is that our vision, our North Star, is always there in the sky of our life, always up there. Could be
I love that.
cloudy,
I love that image.
right? Could be
Yes.
storms, could be hurricanes. The North Star doesn't care. It's always there, shining, shining, very strong.
Yes.
Now, what happens is, and this is my work with the heart all my life, I think I was born to love people. And I kept my heart open, even if I was hurt by people really bad, like really. I will not get into the story now. Whoever wants to, there are plenty of podcasts where I share the story. But the
Yes.
point here is that I kept my heart open. And although I was not always connected with my inner sense, with my intuition, with my
Yes.
inner guidance, but when I was connected, I got something. I got something. There was wisdom,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
embedded something. I embodied something. I integrated something, and that
Yes.
held me. And all those pieces together, somehow the seed sprouted and I became a tree. And that thing with the North Star that I'm talking about, what I realized is inside our hearts, we have like like that thing, that the antenna that captures the waves,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
So we have the North Star that always sends light to our heart, and our
Hmm.
heart is
A
connected,
receiver. It's,
and there's the
yeah.
receiver. And then what the heart does is, just like that antenna, is gonna turn and shift and show us in our life, like it showed me you, and it showed to you me, right? How who are the people, who are the opportunities, the circumstances, the books, the research, right? It shows you and it puts light on them. And that light
Yes.
could be your gut feeling, like um, it could be a thing like there's goosebumps,
Yes.
there's
Yes.
warmth in a place of your body, or you literally, your energy, you feel pulled towards
Yes.
saying yes. And you're
The
like, why would
magnetism.
I say,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Why would I say yes? Right?
Yes.
So this is how I see it, that we always have that vision. The vision is always talking to our hearts, and our heart is always talking and saying, hey, this is the way, this is the way. Now, what I didn't know back then, so many, many years ago, and 12 decades, of course, is that um, I don't know my own language. I don't know how my heart speaks to me, how my heart is showing me all those
Your inner
signs.
language, you mean?
Exactly. The
Okay.
language
Your
in
soul
which,
language.
exactly. Yes. Thank you for mentioning that. So, how my heart was speaking to me, to my mind, to my awareness,
Yes.
to my
Yes.
consciousness, because I don't see life as you do, right?
We all have different perspectives, different experiences. Yeah.
And beliefs and
Yeah. Different stories, different filters through which we experience reality.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
my goal, especially in the last years, has been to see integrity. So, where is my alignment? What's my inner structure? What are my values, my
Hmm.
principle? This is clarity. What are the beliefs I
I
have?
love this.
Fil- Filter them. And what are the beliefs I want to keep? Or what are the new beliefs I want to bring into my life? So I build that awareness and the embodiment we talked about in the beginning. And from then on, um, I knew. But here's the thing about I knew. And we get clear into that clarity, confidence, and courage piece. Um, I felt my vision. I didn't know exactly what is it about. I didn't know
We
exactly what
seldom know the how.
exactly.
We
But
seldom
this
know
was
the how.
not the point. I
Yeah.
learned that leave the how to the universe, leave the
Yes.
how to the higher power. You just focus on the direction. Look
Yes.
ahead and just focus on the direction. I
Yes.
didn't have confidence on me. And I know one big piece in the summit is worthiness, where
Hmm.
here's where I discovered about worthiness. Until I got to this present moment, I had many, many moments where I didn't feel worthy of a lot of things. And by
Like what?
working
Like
with,
what didn't you feel
Mhm.
worthy of? Like, for example,
Well, you know how we sabotage ourselves,
we,
where we as we all humans, we do that, right?
we,
We, yeah. For instance, just few examples. Getting into relationships that hurt us with life partners or even with our parents, we don't know how to deal
yeah,
and the relationships become really challenging.
yes,
Or with colleagues, co-workers, with strangers. Like, why
yeah,
get it so fuzzy about a bus driver who's not smart? I don't know, just
yeah,
so small
exactly.
stuff.
We get invested.
Exactly. That that is one thing. The other thing is not having self-care, not taking care of our body, my
Mhm.
own body. I'm going to talk about my own experience. Not caring about my own body, not caring about my health enough. Although I did some stuff. But the
But not
worthiness,
consistently, not, you weren't
exactly.
committed to yourself, to your, yeah.
No, I wasn't, and I wasn't loving myself. And
Mm.
one piece that was really enlightening for me was that I was giving somebody else, I was putting people on a pedestal, I was putting other people in places instead of looking at me in the mirror and
Yes.
seeing myself for who I am,
Hmm.
with good, the bad, the ugly, with everything, but acknowledging and appreciating the good, appreciating my gifts,
Yes.
appreciating my skills. So I started digging into that, learning about my gifts, learning about all this stuff.
So this
Now,
sounds like acceptance, like, just
yep,
acknowledging yourself, first of all. And I often share with clients as well of, this work being the work of transformation being accepting yourself as a whole and complete being without judgment. And that without judgment piece is the most critical piece of it, because we can say, yeah, these are the cards I'm dealt. This is okay. This is all there is. What am I going to do? Right. But it's like accepting yourself, acknowledging yourself for who you are, who you're being, the potential of who you can become, and saying all of the parts, even the good, the bad, and the ugly, all of those judgments, right? The parts that we would rather not, or we would prefer it looked a different way, or right. But being able to see the beauty in the imperfection and accept that our judgment of imperfection might not exactly be real, like it might not be true, right? So we accept ourselves as a whole and complete being, because it's all those perceived broken parts, perceived ugly parts, perceived unworthy pieces that come together in that alchemy to transmute and become beauty, become love, become medicine. And that's what I'm hearing you express.
Very beautifully said. I love this. Thank you for putting it this way.
Well,
Yes.
you said it. I'm just repeating it back to you. That's what I heard, and I'm just telling you what I heard.
It is great to hear different perspectives on the same thing. One piece of worthiness and unworthiness that I found out by working with the emotion code. I'm not trained for the emotion code, but I just found out about it
Okay.
because I love working with emotions. So through emotion code, you release trapped emotions in your heart, in your body. And when I discovered that, I learned about one more thing. We have emotions from our ancestors,
Yes,
from
epigenetics.
right, and from like could be before birth, after birth, it doesn't matter. So I discovered that I had emotions of unworthiness,
Mm.
not just from my own life experiences, but also from my ancestors. And
Inherited.
being able to acknowledge that, to release that, really helped me. And in my work with feeling worthy, I needed to have somebody in my life to tell me, like my husband told me, you're special, or other people told me, hey, Andrea, you have this gift of, or you have this ability too. And the more I worked on releasing, so two pieces here for people is
Yes.
releasing what's trapped. So you
Hmm.
free yourself from what is stuck, what doesn't help you anymore,
What no
whatever
longer
that is.
serves you. Yes, absolutely.
Exactly. And then the other piece of both you appreciating yourself, acknowledging yourself, supporting yourself through your thoughts, through your actions, and other people seeing you as you are, and or how they perceive you with your beauty,
Yes.
and sharing that to you so you are aware of it and
Yes.
taking in as a nourishment for
Yes.
you,
Well,
every day.
receiving
Listen.
it, because
Yeah.
sometimes, I don't know if this has, been your experience at all, but, sometimes, people are saying and pouring love on you, but I'm not even hearing it. I'm so full of my story around unworthiness that I cannot even receive. Like, how many times have I received a compliment where, oh, I love your shirt. Oh, it's old. You look so beautiful. Oh, that's because you're my mother, right? Like, we always like Teflon, right? It's like nourishment. We're
Yeah.
like, not today, right? Like, and we block it off.
Dismiss
And
it.
then we have a
Yeah.
story around no one cares. No one
Which
loves
is
me.
not true. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's
So
not
being able to
true.
receive.
And this, exactly what you said, I experienced it too in so many
Okay.
ways.
So I'm not alone.
No, you're not. We're not alone. And there is something else that happened to me about self-love. So I got a lot of love in my life. I have my father who loves me, and I have all my family always loved me. I didn't always feel that, by the way. And then my husband came in my life, and he kept saying, "You are special. You are special." I'm
Yes.
like, no,
Like,
no, no,
nah.
no, no. Yeah, dismissing that. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it.
Hmm.
Then I learned in the last 6 years since we've been together that I am loved by life. I am loved by friends, by family. I am loved.
You are
I
here.
just, yeah.
You are here.
I just didn't, for me, it's like seeing, more
Yes.
like I'm more visual than auditory. So I didn't hear it. I didn't feel it. I didn't
Yes.
see it.
Yes.
And why? Because I didn't love myself. So I realized if I want to feel loved, which means really acknowledging the love in my life fully
Hmm.
in me, meant that I needed to fill that empty space inside where I didn't love myself. So when I
Yes.
loved myself, then I was like, I am loved. It was just a great
Yes.
discovery.
Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, because it's like in order to experience it and realize it, like we're talking about in the summit of realizing your dreams or realizing your success or realizing your joy, realizing, whatever it is, your worthiness, experiencing that, we are called or required or even invited to embody it in order to receive love and experience, like receive it, not because it's not there, but actually to take it in, accept it as nourishment, as medicine. We are required to practice it, embody it, and become it, right? Who are you being? Is a very powerful question that, like literally every day comes up for me. And in our being a particular way, opens the door for us to be able to recognize it in our lives and choose to accept it or not. Right? Like we have that power.
We
I
do.
believe. I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you became love for yourself, and that opened up your heart. It broke your heart wide open to be able to recognize love in the world around you and your loved ones, and receive it and then
And
take
the
it back
love
again.
grew.
It's like this.
Exactly. The love grew. The love
Yeah.
grew into my life, kept pouring and pouring from many, many places, even. Now, here is the thing. Again, you bring the word embodiment. And the image that I had listening to you is the next piece I would love to share
Beautiful.
with you,
Yes.
which is it's the same with our vision. When we embody our vision, even if we have fears,
Yes.
well, by the way, my relationship with fear is this. I go through fear. For me, fear is not a foe, is a friend. I'm like,
Yes.
hey girl, like let's just
An
bring my hands
ally.
closer, right? An ally. Like, hey girl,
Yeah.
okay, I see this is resistance. So I see you, I hear
Yes.
you, I
Yes.
see what you're telling me,
Yes.
and
I
I also
appreciate
know,
you. Yeah. Thank you.
yeah.
However,
However, I know why you're here. You're showing me that I'm growing and you're
yes.
showing me my next step. So, with
Yes.
that fear in mind and wherever it is in my body, if it is,
Yes.
I take it, I just put it like a scarf and I say,
Yes.
I'm going through fear with fear. And for me, courage doesn't eliminate fear. Courage
No.
is the decision. For me, courage is a decision to move forward in spite of.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
it's okay to have all those negative emotions, that anguish or whatever. It is
Yes.
okay to have it. We're learning, right?
Yes. Yes.
So embodying the vision, this is so beautiful. Like you said it now, I really realized this is what I've done. So I didn't know my vision clearly, right? But everything that I've done, every decision that I made, discovering my values, what is my integrity, what are my gifts. I basically built that embodiment and I became the person, the leader, the woman, the mother, the human
Yes.
that I am in order to fulfill that vision.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That's that's powerful. And this was just in the last 2 years where all this
Yeah,
clarity, like, so all like your entire life is like just converging and now becoming clear and making perfect sense to you.
yes,
But the pieces had always been there. It was just,
yeah.
it took that breaking open and breaking through and, aligning with your vision and becoming your vision, befriending your vision, in order to activate.
Yeah. And to help with a visual, and this visual comes from actually from multiple things, from my story teachers and
Yes,
a podcast host who helped me with a
yes.
question. So many people help with this vision of I see my life as a maze inside a heart, inside my heart.
Mm, yes,
And in that maze, what I've noticed is that I had moments where I was connected with myself, with my inner sense, with my gifts, with my power, with anything you want to say as being your core, the seed
yes,
within.
yes,
And I had moments where I was disconnected. When I was connected, my choices, my decisions were in alignment. When I was disconnected, they were in misalignment. So they were lesson. Everything was a lesson,
yes,
but they became challenges instead of being ease and flow, you know?
yes, yes.
And for me, the word challenge, I don't know how people see it, but for me, the word challenge doesn't have a negative thing. For me,
No,
challenge is just that thing of okay, I'm gonna raise the bar for you, Andrea. So
yes.
I'm gonna raise the bar, says life, because I know you are this is the level where you can grow. So I'm looking at that bar and saying, okay, how do I do
Not today. No,
this?
thanks.
Well, thanks. This is what I'm like in the last days. You said thank you to the fear, right? I am saying thank
Yeah,
you
yeah,
for the challenges, for the problems, for the issues, for the surprises
yes.
coming in. Because when we say thank you, we open up.
Gratitude,
And
gratitude. Yes,
exactly. And remember, you said that we need one tool here. We need one thing for
yes.
everybody watching and listening to take away. Well, I'm sure you and I gave more here because I spoke about releasing emotions. We spoke about bringing clarity, embodiment, and all of that. So there's more. But if there is one little thing that I could leave
Please share.
anybody with,
Mhm.
is one question: why are you here now? When you hear this question, you can pause, rewind, just listen to the question with your eyes closed, hands on heart, one hand on heart. You can put one hand on your gut, and you can pray and bring in your allies, could be your angels, could be your spirit, like anybody you believe in who supports you, could be somebody who's alive, somebody who died that you loved, you're connected with. Just bring in your support and ask to be connected with your heart and hear the question: why are you here and
Why are you
now?
here? Why am I here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
why
breathing
am
into
I?
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and that goes to the why, right? Like I had a coach once who was like, if your why is not enough to make you cry, then it's not strong enough. Like you need to like go back and revisit it and like dig deeper, right? Your why is really your soul's mission, your soul's love letter to you, right? This is why you here. Why you here? What contribution is this life? What gift do you want to share with the world and in turn bless yourself with, right? So that why. And it's something that, with the way life can be sometimes, talking about this whole summit of women playing small and putting themselves last and devaluing, ourselves and meant like across the board within our families, in our careers, in the world. It's like, oh, no, 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 I'm being a martyr, but it's sometimes not conscious, right? It can sometimes feel like a luxury or a privilege to even ask that question, and you feel selfish or indulgent, navel gazing, like whatever the stories are around it. But it's like I bring it back to what Spirit shared with me coming into 2022, which is, Rachel, you're being selfish continuing the way you're continuing, not being seen, not being bold, not like saying no to life, right? And just minding your own business and being in your little corner and just, being good. It's like that's actually selfish. And it got me completely like I had to like rethink the whole idea of what is selfish, right? And so, you know, absolutely, in terms of a takeaway, thank you for that practice of just hand on heart, hand on gut, and having that intimacy, creating that intimacy with yourself, right? To be able to then you ask the question, but then don't like run off and get a coffee. Like ask the question and then wait, like sit with it. And you might feel silly, you might feel uncomfortable, you might think, well, no one's going to answer. Like, who am I talking to? And start questioning yourself. But just sit and see what comes. It's amazing the wisdom, we have stored within our hearts and within our gut and within our being, right? We're more powerful than we believe, is what I believe. So
Yes to everything you said. And I want to add that recently I met somebody you might know, if not now in the future, Ronald Tabachnik, and he mentioned the fact that when we ask a great question, there are always insights. Just like you said, just pause a moment, just breathe in 4 times, breathe in so your mind can calm down, your emotions can calm down, and then see what images, what words, what
yes,
memories come out, because you
yes.
will remember. This is about remembering who you are.
Remembering. This has come up a few times through the summit so far, and I hope the audience is noticing this because there'll be words and imagery that will jump out at you specifically. Maybe not for anyone else, but this is for you, right? And, gather them up like little nuggets, little breadcrumbs, and follow the trail and lean in because there's wisdom in every moment. So just remain present with that. Well, I want to say, we're already at time. So, definitely this is going to be the first of many conversations, Andrea. I know it. I know it. I know it. And so again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing your heart and your wisdom and your experience with our audience. I will be putting, because I believe you have some links to share with the audience and maybe some services and info that you have available as well. The tools continue. So I'll be getting those from Andrea and I will be posting them for our audience. Any final words, Andrea?
One final word
Andrea.
is Andrea. Okay, so
Andrea.
here's in the end, my name in Romanian, because I am
Yes.
Romanian, is Andrea Petrut.
Andrea Petrut. I
Wow!
know.
Congratulations! Woohoo, this is amazing. Okay. Very few English natives can pronounce my name in Romanian
I'm
correctly.
not English native.
Okay, that's woohoo. Um, so one final message is I love you. You watching this, you listening to this, I love you and you are loved by life. And the moment you are going to realize this, that for me is the meaning of fulfillment because we realize we are one with life. We are one with each other. We are one with the universe. We are one with spirit. We are one. And from that lived connection and fulfillment, you are going to fulfill your vision no matter what is going to happen in your life, and you're going to love it, and everybody around you is going to feel your attitude. You're going to have that
Yes.
embodiment,
Yes.
and you're going to be on a roll. Just watch yourself.
Wow. Talk about realizing your dream. Thank you for that prophecy. Thank you for that like vision and prediction for all our lives. Thank you so much. I love you. I see you and I honor you. And for all watching, continue with the summit, Supreme Leadership Summit. Your presence and your energy is valued, and we're all part of the conversation. So keep with us. Again, thank you. Bye for now.
Bye for now.